few okay, before starting this IUPAC we need to remember few alkyl groups names, right? So this group CH3 group is nothing but what? Methyl group. C2H5 is nothing but ethyl group. Okay, next this 7 shape. Okay, but, the trick to remember to identify the iso is nothing but 7. Just remember iso is nothing but like this 7. Okay, attached if there is a 7 group. Okay, and if you are attaching something here, okay, then you should call it as what? Iso group. Okay, since there are total 3 carbons, we are calling it as what? Isopropyl. Okay, whereas if the same 7 group is there, one carbon is there, and then you are attaching, okay, then the complete thing you can call it as what? Isobutyl group. Okay, so it's easy way to remember is what? 7 shape is nothing but what? Isopropyl. T shape is nothing but what? Isobutyl. Okay, 7 is nothing if you are attaching something here to the 7 directly, so you can call it as isopropyl. If I'm attaching here, then you should call it as isobutyl. Okay, so let me give one more example here to understand isopropyl and isobutyl. Okay, for example, if I write like this, okay, and if I'm attaching here OH group, okay, can I call this is like 7 shape, right? So 7 shape with OH group, can I call it as a isopropyl alcohol? Since it is a isopropyl, OH is a alcohol. So isopropyl alcohol. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this chain. Okay. And now I'm adding here OH. Okay. Can say again you got something like T shape. Right. So T shape indicates what? Isobutyl alcohol. So it's not about OH. You can add anything. Clear till here? Okay, so the thing is that for ISO, what is the main required condition? There should be two openings. There should be two openings in the 7 shape. Okay, whereas in this corner you can attach any carbons etc. you wish. Clear till here? Right, so this is about isobutyl, isopropyl, secondary butyl. Okay, next in the fifth example, if I take 4 carbons, okay, and I'm directly attaching something here, so then since it is a straight chain, can I say I'm attaching extra groups to a straight chain compound, so I will call it as a N indicates what? Straight chain. Okay, N, since there are total 4 carbons, I will call N butyl. If the star mark is OH group, then I will call N-butyl alcohol. These are not the IUPAC name, these are common names. Okay, N-butyl. Okay, next. Let us go with the one more 4 carbons related. Okay, 4 carbons related. Now I'm going to take like this. These here also you have total 4 carbons. I'm attaching something here. Okay, right. But see, you can see that can say again you got something like 7 shape, right? But this time the star mark is next to carbon or it exactly to the center, exactly to the center. So you cannot call it as a iso group. Okay, for iso group you need to attach at this side. Okay, right. So now what happened here in this case here? Can I say this is the like attached it to the middle of the T? So this we should call it as what? Neobutyl. Neobutyl. Clear till here? Understood? So these are the few terms related to 4 carbon related. Okay, one more name you can write tertiary butyl. Okay, so let me revise again related to 4 carbon. Okay, related to 4 carbon common names, we have total 4 names. Okay, what are those 4 names? N-butyl. Okay, next isobutyl. Next neobutyl and secondary butyl. Okay, N-butyl means what? What is the meaning of N? All the 4 carbons in the straight chain. So all the 4 carbons in the straight chain. Okay, iso indicates what? There should be a 7 shape. Now remaining butyl means 4 carbons. So that's why I'm attaching here one more carbon and star mark. Star mark indicates you can attach any groups. Okay, neobutyl indicates what? Neo means T shape. Okay, but this time the star mark is attached to the center. Okay, secondary butyl indicates what? This time the star mark is at the second one. Okay, star indicates what? OH group, carboxylic acid, anything it can be. Got clarity between N-butyl, isobutyl, neobutyl and secondary butyl? Okay, right. Now let us go with the next term, seventh one. Okay, let us see few differences between two compounds. Okay, suppose if I attach star mark next to double bond, or I may attach it directly to double bond. So what is the main difference here? Can say here star mark is attached to next to double bonded carbon, whereas in the second case star mark is attached direct to double bonded carbon. Whenever something is attached to next to double bonded carbon, then the system is called allyl. Suppose the star mark is a chlorine, then what I should call allyl chloride. If it is a OH, allyl alcohol, you can take like that. Okay. Whereas here, if it is directly attached to 2C double bond C, then you should call it as what? Vinyl. So know the difference between allyl and vinyl. In vinyl, star mark is directly attached to double bonded carbon, whereas in allyl, star mark is attached to next to double bonded carbon. Got clarity between allyl and vinyl? Okay, next we'll go with the phenyl. So what is the meaning of phenyl? Phenyl is nothing but benzene. Okay, and here the star mark is directly attached to benzene. So there are total three cases. Okay, star mark may be directly attached to benzene. Okay, or else star mark may be attached to CH2, that is next carbon, or else star mark may be attached to. Okay, or you can see there will be CH and two star marks or something. Okay, and next fourth condition is benzene with C and star mark. Now you will say that, ma'am, here one hydrogen is missing. It may be double bond, anything. Okay, you need to just check the C letter. Okay, if the star mark, that is star indicates what? OH, chlorine, fluorine, bromine, iodine, whatever you want, you can take any group. It may be hydrogen also, anything. Okay, so if the star mark is directly attached to benzene, then that group we can call it as what? Phenyl. Okay, you should call it as what? Phenyl. If the star mark, now the benzene is common, but now the star mark is directly attached to benzene or carbon. Now you have to check whether that carbon has two hydrogens, one hydrogen or zero hydrogen. Okay, can say in the last case it is a zero hydrogen. Zero means what you can call benzo. Okay, so just remember like this. Zero hydrogens means O, benzo. Benzaldehyde, benzo, like that you can see if you can say there is only one hydrogen, right? Whenever there is a one hydrogen, you can call it as what? Benzal. Like if it is a chlorine, then benzyl chloride. If it is a aldehyde, then benzaldehyde. Like that. Okay, benzophenone, you can, I think you heard somewhere benzophenone, like that. Okay, and if there are two hydrogen, then you should call it as benzyl. Okay, so these don't get confused. Zero hydrogens, oh, benzo. Okay, next benzal, next benzyl, and next one, this one is phenyl. Okay, so these are the few important terms. These are like for common names, not for IUPAC name. Okay, right. So now we will continue the exactly what is IUPAC and everything. First of all write down the full form of IUPAC. So the full form of IUPAC is nothing but International. Okay, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Pure and Applied Chemistry. So like you can call, see there are few example, you can take the food items or food dishes. In different states they will call with a different name for the same food. For example, you can take festivals itself. Okay, different states will call it as a different name for the one festival itself. But overall, in the same way, there are a lot of names for a given chemical compound. But according to IUPAC, that is the common. Okay, so this name is identified in complete. So wherever you go internationally, we are going to call with this upcoming names. Okay, right. So let us go with the how to write. What are the steps? How to write IUPAC name steps, step by step. So there are total 3 steps to write the IUPAC name. Okay, in the first step, what you are going to do? We are going to select the parent carbon chain. Select parent carbon chain. Parent carbon chain. Now we will say that, ma'am, how to select the parent carbon chain. Can you take randomly? So most of the students, I will say that 80% students will do the mistake while selecting the parent carbon chain. There is criteria, there is few criteria to follow by following that you have to select the parent carbon chain. The first importance you have to give what? Functional group. Okay, after choosing, suppose there is a carbon chain, many students what they do, carbon chain means largest number of carbon. No, not like that. If there is a chain containing 2 carbons with functional group and there is a other chance having 10 carbons without functional group, you have to choose with functional group. So first priority give for with functional group. If there is no functional group, then the second priority you have to give for multiple bond. Okay, what is that multiple bond? Parent carbon must have double bond or triple bond. If there is no double bond, triple bond in the given structure, then you have to go for maximum number of carbons. Maximum number of carbon. Many students directly jump for the third step, maximum number of carbons. Okay, if the maximum number of carbons are same, then at the last you have to give priority for maximum number of substituents. Maximum number of substituent. Okay, next, after selecting the parent carbon chain, next to the second step, what you have to do? You have to go for the numbering. Okay, so while numbering, many students get confused. Ma'am, should I start from left to right or right to left? Numbering PCC. What is the meaning of PCC? Parent carbon chain. Okay, so there is a here also there is a priority order. First, you have to start with functional group. If functional group is not there, then you have to go for multiple bond. What is the meaning of multiple bond? Double bond or triple bond. Okay, if that is also you are getting same number, then you have to go for substituent. Okay, so for all of them, you should try to give the lowest number. So whenever you're choosing, for example, you're choosing functional group. Okay, then try to give as for you have to give the lowest number. Choose that possibility which gives lowest number for them. Okay, now there is another controversy. They'll say that, man, double bond should be given first priority or triple bond. There is no such a rule that you have to give first importance for double bond or first importance to triple bond. This also based upon few conditions. Sometimes double bond will get first priority or sometimes triple bond will get the first priority. So whenever we do the numericals, at that time you can understand. Okay, right, again I'm repeating, there is no such a rule to say that first double bond should get the first priority or triple bond should get the first priority. There is no nothing like that. After naming, the third step is nothing but okay, after doing numbering, the third step is nothing but name. Okay, so while writing name, for example, if I ask you what is your name, so first you will say, few students what they will do, first they will say their name and second part they will keep their surname. Or few students what they will do, they will first say their surname and then they will say their original name. So there is certain rule. Okay, while filling the forms, you can see that application form, first they will ask you a surname and then they will ask you a common name. Okay, so in the same way, while writing IUPAC name also there are certain rules. Okay, so that rule is nothing but, first of all, you have to take prefix. What is the meaning of prefix? Before your name. Okay, after prefix you have to write the root word. Okay, you have to go with root word. After root word you have to write the suffix. So what is prefix, what is root word, what is suffix? Okay, so let me give one small example. For example, if I say K Ravi Kumar, or I will say S Ravi Kumar. Okay, can I say S is the starting surname? So this is acting as a prefix, Kumar is acting as a suffix, Ravi is acting as a root word. Prefix means before, that is surname. Suffix means after your name. Root word is the main word. Okay, so but in the IUPAC what happened, this prefix is further divided into two types. Okay, what is nothing but primary prefix, secondary prefix. Okay, now after that you have to write root word, after that primary suffix, and then secondary suffix. Okay, now what is the meaning of primary prefix? Primary prefix indicates what? Primary prefix is like if you have cyclo, okay, or you can say bicyclo, like that. Okay, next, what is the meaning of secondary prefix? You have to write the substituent name. Check whether the compound has any substituent. Okay, or else you can say branches. Okay, next, what is the meaning of root word here? Root word indicates if it is one carbon, then you are going to call the root word is mith. Two carbon, ith. If the parent chain, see everything belongs to parent carbon chain. If the parent carbon chain is one carbon, meth, two carbons, eth, three carbons, prop, four carbons, but, five carbons, pent, six carbons, like that you can remember. Seven carbons, hept, oct, like that you can go here. Okay, right. Next, what is the meaning of primary suffix? Okay, here primary suffix will give information what if the parent carbon chain is alkane, then the primary suffix is ane. If the parent carbon chain is alkene, then the primary suffix is replaced by what? ene. If the parent carbon chain is alkyne, okay, then the primary suffix is yne. Okay, next, what is the meaning of this secondary suffix? Secondary suffix is functional group. Clear till here? Right. Now we are going to start next. So now the question is, ma'am, if we have more than one functional group, okay, then how to know which one is the first priority functional group, which one is the substituent? As you know, there is only one king for a kingdom, right? So in the same way, for the one IUPAC name, there should be only one functional group. Okay, so if you suppose if you have two or three functional groups in the structure, then how to know who is the king? That means who is the main functional group. Okay, then the remaining functional groups is acting as what? Substituent. So let me give the priority order. Right, so just take the screenshot. Take the screenshot. Right, so let me explain you how to remember the priority order of functional. Okay, so first of all, let me explain you one small story. Okay, so there is one compound called COOH. There is one compound called COOH. Functional group. What is the name of this functional group? Carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid. Okay, that I'm going just teaching a small story. Okay, there is a one functional group, its name is carboxylic acid. It's a very strong among complete organic chemistry. That means, can say who is the highest first priority order? If I ask you which one is the highest king of the organic chemistry, which functional group is the king of organic chemistry, you have to say carboxylic acid. That's why whenever you get competition, if you get competition between alcohol and carboxylic acid, which should be the first priority? Carboxylic acid. Okay, whatever competition, alcohol, you can take aldehyde, ketone, amides, whatever you take competition in IUPAC name, who is in the first position? Carboxylic acid. Okay, now can I say after carboxylic acid, there should be a family members of carboxylic acid or other functional groups. Who should be the second priority? Family members of carboxylic acid, not the other one. Okay, now if I try to draw the carboxylic acid, can say it looks like C double bond OOH. So this is the structure of COOH. Okay, now what happened if I replace this OH with some other group? Can I call this is the family member of carboxylic acid? Right, for example, if I write instead of OH, okay, if I write NH2, can I call it as a amide? then what we should call? Amide. Okay, so carboxylic acid first family member is what? Amide. Okay, next second family member, if I replace that OH group with something halogen, single bond, sorry, here it should be single bond, with some halogen I'm going to write as a X letter. X indicates what? Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Okay, so can I call this functional group as a acid halide? Can say this is also one of the family member of carboxylic acid. Okay, next if I replace the above OH group with OR group, here what is the meaning of R? Root word, remember? Methyl, ethyl, propyl, butyl. Okay, methyl, prop, butyl. R indicates what? Alkyl groups. It may be methyl, ethyl, propyl, butyl. If I replace with OR, then you should call it as what? Ester. So who is the third family member like of carboxylic acid? Ester. Okay, next if I replace this one, okay, with OC double bond OR group. Okay, if I repeat like this, then you should call anhydride. What you should call? Anhydride. This one OH is replaced by these many groups. So can I say there are total 4 family members of carboxylic acid? Right, but who is the first priority? Carboxylic acid. After that family members of carboxylic acid. Now you will get that, ma'am, there are 4 members, no? So if I get amide and ester, then which one I should give priority? That priority list also now I will help you. So I think you understood the family members of carboxylic acid. Now few students will say that, ma'am, instead of OH, if I write H, then it will become aldehyde. Then aldehyde is a family member of carboxylic acid, means I will say no. Aldehyde is a separate one, separate category. There are only 4. Okay, so let us try to understand what are the 4 family members of carboxylic acid. Amide, acid halide, ester, anhydride. Okay, right. So let us see here in this structure who is in the first position. Carboxylic acid, then give some gap, because you are not going to get much question about sulfonic acid. Very rarely, 99% they are not going to ask you sulfonic acid, but while remembering, if you want, you can remember. After that, after carboxylic acid, can say there should be family members of carboxylic acid. In family members, who is the first one? Can say RCOOR, means can I call this as a anhydride? So after anhydride, who is the next one? Ester. After that, X is there, means acid halide. Next, amide. Okay, so in this manner you can remember. Okay, this is the first part. So acid, that means what? Who is the first position? Carboxylic acid, anhydride, ester, acid halide, amide. Okay, next. So next set you have to remember is what? Cyanide, isocyanide. Who is in the second position? Cyanide, isocyanide. Cyanide means CN, isocyanide means NC. Okay, next who is in the third category? Aldehyde, ketone. Ketone, aldehyde. Aldehyde, ketone. This is nothing but what? Aldehyde. Next this one is what? Ketone. Okay, next we are going to get in the third condition, third category: alcohol, thiol, amine. So know the difference between amide and amine. Okay, amide indicates what? CONH2. Amine indicates what? NH2. Okay, if you have CO, then amide. If you don't have CO, then you should call amine. Okay, clear till here? Who is the first one? Carboxylic acid, sulfonic acid. Then family members. Who are the family members? Anhydride, ester, acid halide, amide. Okay, next is cyanide, isocyanide. Next aldehyde, ketone, and then alcohol, thiol, and amine. Clear till here? Right. So these are the what? Prefix and suffix. Voice is audible? Okay, just 1 minute. Right. So all this table, I think, took the screenshot.